All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless me here talking about real music in real time for, yep, real people just like you right there, just like me right here. Typically, I don't talk about other YouTube channels or YouTubers. There are a few that are out there that I've mentioned recently. My friend Darren from Sleeve Saturday, my new friend Mike from Keep Rock Alive, good guy, had a great interview on his channel. Rick Beato is a guy that a lot of my patrons watch because he is so smart and I'll watch his channel and it just goes mostly over my head because I'm not a musician. I don't pretend to be one. In fact, a lot of the criticism that I get is, well, you don't know what you're talking about. All I can do is use my ears and tell you what I like and what I dislike, and and you can agree or disagree. I mean, I'm not operating on that level where Rick Beato is just a really smart guy, and I would recommend his channel if you haven't checked it out. He recently did an interview with Toto's Steve Lukather, and it's just great television. It's great to watch two guys talk about music, two men who know what they're talking about. Also, a little of the grumpy old men stuff at the end, which I really enjoyed. Luke talks about the record industry. He also was asked a great question by Rick Beato, and this is key in today's media, is that oftentimes you won't get good questions. You won't hear good questions. I've complained a lot on this channel that when they get a big interview with somebody, like it's Steve Perry or whoever, they don't ask the good questions, the questions that would elicit a response that would be interesting, or a question that people are afraid to ask because they fear that, the person they're interviewing will just, get out of their seat and leave, and that'll be the end of the interview. Even if you just do it in a diplomatic way, a lot of times it just these people are afraid to go there, which make most of the interviews all sound the same. When Steve Perry made his comeback, almost every interview was the same. Andy Green from Rolling Stone was the only guy who kind of took some chances and asked some difficult questions. But Rick Beato, he asks great questions of Steve Lukather. Lukather is a very humble dude. He just sits there and he is kind of like either your cranky old dad or your cranky old grandfather at this point. I'm hoping that there is still, the passion there in his, life to record music. It almost sounds like a lot of the older guys on the scene, especially after the year we had last year, where live touring is really the only revenue stream for many of these folks. And it's mind-boggling, that a guy who is part of one of the greatest albums of all time, which is Toto 4, all right, is sitting there, and he should be still on top of the world after that. But, 40 years later, the whole landscape has changed, and it's all about streaming and downloads. And they discuss that in this interview, which, again, great questions. Rick Beato, and I have not spoken of him. I've had a lot of my patrons say, hey, have you watched this guy? And I'll be like, yeah, he's really good. He's way better. I would watch his channel before I would watch anything that I do, because he is just a fascinating character. I wish I had learned music when I was younger, because I think I would speak with way more authority, but, I'm just not creative in that way. But I really enjoy listening to other people who are. So in any event, just wanted to throw that out there. The Rick Beato, Steve Lukather interview, really well done. And Lukather says some very interesting things about the music industry toward the end of the interview. And, you know, us YouTubers, we have to kind of stick together. So I am promoting somebody who is already way ahead of me, but that's okay. That's okay. He's just a good guy, and he deserves some praise for his good work and for his interviewing skills.